you held up a picture of World War Z,
God.
about rebounding like that. And that's kind of what you did against Fresno. You happy with that?
Yeah, and you know, that first half was maybe as the most attention to detail we've had, and it graded out that way where, you know, that's the level we have to rebound at. We didn't do it for two halves, but that first half was as good as we've had rebounding wise, and you know, doing your assignments and everybody with that extraordinary effort, and that's what we have to have, where, you know, we've given good effort most of the year, but we can't just survive on good effort. It has to be, you know, Bob Beeman every time with every guy.
After the game, you said your quick thoughts on San Diego State was rebounding and defense, and you watched that game yesterday, and it seemed like, especially down low, I mean, they were very physical.
That was so impressive. I mean, I was just chuckling at you pundits that are acting like the Mountain West isn't as good. I'll tell you what, I haven't seen a win like that. That was that tough environment, that good a team, and they just rolled in there and they controlled the whole game from start to finish. And they did it with their defense, they did it with their rebounding, they you know, like I said, they just controlled that game from start to finish. It was impressive. Great win for the Mountain West Conference, and you know, shows you how good San Diego State is, no question about it.
How do you handle that physicality down low? It seems like they're real physical.
That's a good question. You know, it's one of those easier said than done. It's like, okay, the Green Bay Packers are going to run the toss sweep now. Here it comes. How do you stop it? Everybody knows it's coming. Everybody knows it. Well, we got to stop that. But it's easier said than done, and it works. I mean, it worked against Kansas.
They got 1 million follow-up points.
Yeah.
Blocking out's going to be key, I guess, against these guys.
Yeah, it's huge. And like I said, it's guys know their assignments, and and we can't just rely on one guy. It can't be like, okay, Ryan, go get 16 bullets. It's not going to happen. And you know, we gotta do it with the team. We gotta do it with the gang. We gotta try to outnumber them there, and where it's just not a dominant statistic.
Why are they so tough to shoot against? I mean, it looks like 33% from the floor, 25% from three.
Kansas shot 29% at home against them, which is just unbelievable. I mean, you know, you're talking about Kansas. It's at home in a game. It wasn't like Kansas looked by them. It wasn't like Kansas was dialed into playing, and they you know, they battled, and they're a good team. I think anyone would tell you that. And they're just so long, so athletic, and it looks like they take so much pride in what they're doing defensively.
Talk about Steve Fisher, what he's been able to do throughout his career, and maybe a couple things that you have to do to be effective against a Steve Fisher coach team.
Well, I've studied that program quite a bit. You know, taking over this program, I wanted to see the timeline of what he did and where he built it from, and you know, it's just so impressive what he has now and where they came from. You know, his first year, they didn't win a Mountain West game. They went 0-4, and to take it from where that was now, you know, it took a long time, and he just built it. You talk about brick by brick. He just kept getting better, and you know, that's why I kind of chuckled too when people were acting like, well, San Diego State will have a down year. No. You know, I think any of us coaches, we all went, no, that's not going to happen. They're not going to be. It's not going to be a rebuild. When you got a program like that, they're going to be terrific, and they're different than they were last year, and a lot of people think a lot better than they were last year, and they were pretty darn good last year. So it's just amazing what he does there, and how consistent they've been, and what a great program it is, and you know, which is great for our league.
How are they different? You know, because
they defend probably way better than, you know, and not that they were a bad defensive team in any way, shape, or form. They just, I mean, it was tough to score against them last year, and they're you know, from all I can tell and from talking to other people that have played them and know them, and they're better than they were, way better defensively, and maybe one of the best defense teams in the country, maybe one of the best rebounding teams in the country.
Kansas, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, man.
Kansas lost patience a lot. Quick shots sometimes. It's important, even though they're a good defensive club, to make them play defense, right?
Yeah, but it's also a fine line because you might not have a lot of great looks. So you got to take them a little bit when you can get them, I think. And so it's not just a matter of just keeping them on defense, because they won't break down. I haven't seen them break down defensively. And you got to be able to knock down open looks if you're able to get